instruction? What was the
Uncle, they kill you. You dey mad?
What was the instruction he said he gave her? What was the instruction?
Because
I'm not.
Hello.
What's the instruction?
You dey crazy?
We're all eating from that spaghetti now. What was the instruction?
That food was not only for her.
Yes.
She knows why I'm collecting it.
Betty, why you talk? Wait and stop.
Why? You even
Are you going to stop?
Like you can imagine.
Are you going to stop?
I'm not gonna stop you. They mad. Uncle, they kill you.
I will not talk until you stop.
Uncle, they kill you.
When you're ready to
I mean, people that can give me fight. Man, no go go to the wine.
you don't like shout from now to tomorrow. Oh, they put it in the
Come on, man.
From here, from there. Look at kerosene. You can't put kerosene on this.
You can't even this way. It's going to kerosene. You can't
No. They started it here. They see what here.
The stove is even on.
Stove is on.
Yes.
It's hot.
It's hot.
You can't even turn kerosene and go
And
And the stove is still hot.
Hey fam, if you haven't heard the kerosene fight between Faith and Imisi in the BBNaija house yesterday, pure madness. And this wasn't just a shouting match. It was one of those explosive moments that exposes everything about ego, control, respect, and survival inside Big Brother's walls. Today, we are unpacking the entire thing. I mean the whole thing. Why did it happen? What does it say about Faith, about Imisi, and about the season as a whole? And more importantly, what lessons can we take away from this drama? Because as wild as BBNaija gets, there's always more beneath the surface. So let's slow it down and set the scene properly so that you can get a clear picture of what's happening, especially if you're not even a fan, because you really need to hear this gist and learn the lessons. Faith is head of house, and that role isn't just about wearing a crown for the week. It comes with its pressure, responsibility, and the constant need to prove that you are in charge. So Faith decided to put some structure in place in the kitchen. She appointed gatekeepers for kerosene. Basically, if you wanted to cook, you couldn't just grab the stove fuel. You had to go through her people. Now, on paper, this doesn't sound too crazy, right? Exactly. You want to keep things organized, avoid waste, avoid unnecessary chaos. But here's the thing. BBNaija is not just a house, it is a pressure cooker, a very hot pressure cooker, literally and figuratively. Every little rule fuels serious drama. Every simple rule feels magnified 10 times over. And the moment you enforce control, you create tension within the house. So now we are moving on. So Imisi enters. And listen, anyone who has watched this season, if you've not watched it, just take your time and watch it. Now, Imisi doesn't exactly go with the flow. Very quick to defend herself and not afraid to challenge authority. And of course, that's one of the reasons why this kerosene issue escalated quickly. It wasn't just about wanting to cook food faster. It was a statement. I don't need to go through any authority, gatekeepers. I'll do what I want. And this is where you start to see the clash forming. You have one person on one hand trying to maintain structure and prove they deserve the HOH title, that's head of house. On the other hand, you have the second person fighting for independence, fighting using their voice, trying to say they are right in their position. Everybody is proving that they are right. And just like that, simple thing like kerosene becomes the match that lights the fire.
Remove your hand.
Carry my uncle, come on, you dey mad. You guys, please
Don't touch it, but don't
Please, you guys don't. Kerosene. This is kerosene, please.
Now, you know how there's always tension in BBNaija. Imagine just being cooped up in a place with strangers from different parts of the nation or even the world and having to accommodate individual differences. One person gets caught ignoring the system and immediately switches, becomes sharp, commanding, confrontational, and the other wants to assert dominance to remind everyone that I am the head of house. And Imisi is not someone who backs down just because of anything. She matched Faith's energy. Sharp tone for sharp tone, gesture for gesture. Words start flying. Voices start getting louder. Everybody is involved in the whole chaos. And suddenly, kerosene becomes the most valuable thing in BBNaija house. Other housemates froze at first. Of course, some tried to calm things down, but you could tell nobody really wanted to get in between the two of them at that point, but at least attempts were made. But let's pause here. Was it really about kerosene? No. It was about respect. Faith and Imisi feel like either of them is undermining the other person. It's now like a power tussle. Imisi feeling like Faith is trying to control her, and Faith trying to stand his own ground. And that's why the argument escalated so quickly. Now, if you've watched enough BBNaija, you know once respect gets dragged into a fight, the house shifts instantly because it's no longer about an item. It's about dignity. It's about face. The entire world is watching this. And it's about who has a louder voice and the bigger influence. At what point you could see Faith's body language, angry, just standing his ground like a leader being challenged. And Imisi's gesture screamed defiance, like, you don't own me, you can't dictate my every move, I will do what I want. And that's why this fight has been trending. Not because of kerosene, but because it was power versus independence, control versus freedom. And the whole house plus viewers felt that immense energy.
Give me a potty, double down for me, say go high. Leave him.
Now, here's what I want us to zoom out and really look at the bigger picture. Why do fights like this always blow up in BBNaija house? Because they're not just entertainment, they mirror real life. Think about it. In offices, how many times have people clashed over something small, like who used the stapler or who printed without permission? But it's never about stapler, it's about respect. In families, arguments aren't really about plates or housework or chores. They're about who feels heard, who feels appreciated, who feels ignored. In BBNaija, kerosene wasn't the real issue. Let's be real here. It's just so small, so little. It was a symbol. Faith standing his ground, Imisi wanting freedom. That is the collision. And this is where the storytelling magic happens. People don't remember the objects. They remember the emotions. Nobody's going to say, remember that time they fought over kerosene? They'll say, remember when Faith and Imisi went head to head and the whole house held its breath? Now let's talk lessons, especially from a brand story school perspective. For brands, the takeaway is simple. The little things matter. Your kerosene could be late delivery, it could be customer service response, it could be a pricing detail, but if people feel disrespected in the process, that small spark can burn down loyalty completely. Faith and Imisi's fight teaches us that humans don't argue about things, we argue about feelings, respect, control, autonomy. And when you can tap into those layers, that's when you tell stories that people will never forget. So now let's bring it back to you. Who do you think was actually right here? Was Faith justified in trying to keep order? Or did Imisi cross a line into being too controlling? Was Imisi right to stand up for herself, or did she just overreact? I want to hear from you in the comments, because trust me, your perspective is part of this bigger conversation. And if you enjoy this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned, because the way this season is going, this kerosene fight might just be the beginning of the real fireworks.
This is kerosene. This is kerosene. You can't do that.
Now you be Big Brother. Come on, my hand for you.
I will make sure of that.
Yeah, now.
There's kerosene everywhere inside this ground.
Isabella! I beg, bring me a potty. I go sit down here all day all night. She's a friend. Isabella, give me a